Rashad, why you didn't hit me up?
What's up, Rashad? Hey, Rashad.
What's up, Rashad?
Thank you, Rashad.
Brother, I love you, brother.
What's up, Rashad? What it do, boy?
Hey, Rashad.
What's up? 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 Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Rashad Milligan. If you are new to the channel, this is the road to 10K subs. Today we have a very, very special guest in the building today. All the way on the road right now, we have Mr. Darius Blackwell. Darius, how are you doing today, sir?
Hey, how you doing, Rashad? I'm blessed to be here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you and yours, man. For those of you who do not know, Darius, of course, you see from the last name and you see from the title, Darius is Linton Blackwell's cousin. And Linton Blackwell, for those of you who need a refresher, I will pull it up right now. Linton Blackwell, he was a father. He was a brother, a cousin, a family member, all of these things, an entrepreneur and an artist as well, signed to the DTE label, Duct Tape Entertainment. That's Trouble, that's Big Bank, that's Alley Boy, that's all of those guys over there on the east side. He is known as East Lake Meadows legend from that community in East Atlanta. And he moved over to the Buckhead area a few years ago, where he would go out every now and again trying to expand his circle and his network. And one day when he was out at the Five Paces Inn bar, he had a security guard who was an off-duty cop follow him outside all the way back to his car before ultimately ending his life with 17 in his back. And as you see here from all of this, and this is the accused officer, Gerald Walker, who has been, I believe he's suspended so far. He's on leave right now from the Atlanta Police Department. But this is something that the East Atlanta community has been fighting for ever since it happened, which was October. If you want to see other interviews with other members of Linton's family, they are on this channel. I can link them at the end of this video. So with that being said, Darius, I guess, you know, just how has this fight been for you all and the family these last few months, man?
These last few months, it's been trying for the family, his children. We haven't got a lot of feedback from Atlanta. What I like to address today with you all is that Atlanta's going another year without completing citizen review of officer-involved shootings. It is not just a failure of process, it's a failure for accountability. It's not accountability for Atlanta officers. For families like mine, this is a statistics of backlog. This is real life. My cousin Linton Blackwell was killed by an Atlanta police officer, and not one person have acknowledged it or took accountability of his death. They're kind of brushing it up on the rug. So when Citizen Review Board does not complete investigations, officers remain employed, families are left in limbo, and public lost in trust. Accountability delayed, accountability is denied. Okay, we are asking for an independent review and to support the public. We're just trying to get answers. We're not getting answers. So I'm going to drop down and I'm going to read something to you, if that's okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, the backlog. Don't just delay paperwork, they delay justice. Okay, independent review means nothing is never happened. It's a review, but it's nothing happening, so that's obsolete. My cousin death should not be buried in the backlog. It shouldn't. We're going into a new year. They should be full-fledged in front of this thing. No one should have to wait years to find out why their loved ones were killed. If it was somebody else being killed, it would have been rapidly respond. It's not. If this was a civilian shooting 18 times, that would be already been an arrest. You know it and I know it. Okay. I have wrote some other things to say. What do you want to see happen? We want immediate transparency. The release of the body cam footage, clear investigation timeline, and criminal accountability whenever the evidence supports it. We also want Atlanta Citizens Review Board to do what it's created to do. Review cases independently and in a timely manner, not years. when the damage is already done. My cousin daughters live this tragedy day by day. His birthday just passed. We're trying to move on to a new year, but we haven't had no transparent from Atlanta at all concerning this. If I have a question to ask the officer, what we want to know, what is the officer Walker fired 18 shot to my cousin in his back, the spot. There was no clear evidence. There was no arrest. There's no explanation for the family. Why is that? Can you tell me that? Okay. If what does justice look like for me? Justice means truth, accountability, change. It means knowing exactly what happened, holding the people responsible when the law is broken, and making sure no other family has to go through this. That's what we're looking for. We want answers. We don't want to raise no noise and be belligerent, but we want answers. That's what we want. And I'm gonna make it clear. All right. Final, Atlanta cannot keep asking families to wait while accountability never comes. My cousin matters, his life matters, and we will keep pushing until justice is done. And that's how I want to end this. We want justice.
Yes, sir, Darius. I appreciate those words. I appreciate those words. And to go back over a couple of things that Darius was mentioned right there in his statement, you see it right here. This is from uh, the Lawton Constitution. Atlanta goes another year without completing its citizen review of officer involved passings and tragedies. There's a backlog of 50 cases waiting for their action. 2025 closes with a large backlog of cases. We still have a lot of work to do, quote unquote. Williams said, adding that the
Hey, I
board
going
had,
up, man.
okay. Sorry, Darius. Sorry, Darius. Adding that the board has no control over how quickly the board gets closed cases from the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, District Attorney, and Atlanta Police. It was a challenging year, Williams said. This began with an Atlanta Journal Constitution investigation that showed the board had neglected to investigate 40 cases from 2020 to 2024. Now that number, of course, as we just said, has grown to 50. So it's been 40 cases not investigated since 2020, and now it's 50 cases not investigated since 2020. As I mentioned in the intro, Linton Blackwell, very popular figure at East Lake Meadows area in East Atlanta as an entrepreneur, as an artist, just as a community figure. And here is a photo with Jimmy Hill, of course, friend of the channel and cousin of Linton Blackwell and Darius Blackwell, up here posted at his heavenly birthday celebration last week, I want to say, on the east side of Atlanta. So Darius, I want to ask you, man, you were talking a lot about like his daughters having to deal with this, and you guys say you feel like the city of Atlanta is sweeping this under the rug. When you know all the connections that Linton had, in terms of where he had connections in the music industry, where he had just in entertainment and just kind of the big wigs within Atlanta, how do you feel when you see some of those big names are kind of somewhat quiet about this current tragedy, and you guys fight for justice?
To be honest, I'm a little taken back, because I know my cousin Linton Blackwell. He goes hard for anyone that's in his circle. He was very vigilant, DTE member. Whatever transpired after that, I don't know anything about it. But if he was a member, I feel like they should at least speak up and rep for him. They have platforms for him. Well, let me take that back. They have platforms to where they can be a voice for him. We're not asking for anything. The only thing we're asking for is justice and some people to speak up. Because what was taking place, it shouldn't take place. It shouldn't take place for no family. I'm born and raised in Atlanta. My cousin is born and raised in Atlanta. He is East Lake. And I feel like the community need to reach out and just speak and voice their opinion. You know, I understand who you're referring to. You're talking about Banks, DTE. Banks, if you're hearing, my cousin was good to you. They love you. Speak up for BGreen. Whatever may have happened, man to man, I'm proud of you. Whatever you're doing, I'm proud of you. But my cousin, don't let him just go by the wayside. His name is BGreen, Linton Blackwell.
Darius, I want to ask you, just about oh wait, first of all, were you done? I didn't want to cut you off
Oh
there.
no, go ahead. I was done.
Okay.
I don't wanna continue to give energy where maybe energy is not welcome. But my cousin does represent BGreen. That's his brand, Linton Blackwell, but he was with duct tape.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And the whole Vietnam, clothing brand and just brand in general and things of that sort.
Yes,
Uh,
he had this is go ahead. I'm sorry for cutting you
oh
off.
no, no, that was it. Keep going, keep going.
Yes, he has his clothing brand, Look Vietnam, which he started on his own. He also had a car service that he was doing. So he was transitioning his life. He was reinventing himself for his children and for his family. Um, I want to put that out there that his children was his heart. For those that know him, you got to love his children if you love him.
And I just want to ask you about how you've kind of handled this entire situation because, like you said at the beginning, you said it's been trying for the family. Are you to confirm you're also related to Jimmy Atchison, correct?
Yes, yes.
So
Linton
so
Blackwell
yeah.
father and my father are brothers.
Okay, okay, okay.
All right. And that's how we're related. We're first cousins.
So these past 6 years, two officer related, obviously I feel like it's one thing if it's a community situation, right? Within the community, us versus us. But it's another thing when it's supposed to be someone who we pay taxes for to protect us and protect the community. To lose two cousins like that in the span of 6 years, how's that kind of been like weighing on you? How have you dealt with that?
Well, every day is a struggle. I don't think no one's can get over death. We all grieve differently. Um, so every day is a process. So as far as my cousins that over these years that have been gunned down by the police, I'm a little paranoid of the police. I always try to go with my best foot forward, but we got to be mindful of Atlanta police. It seems like they're a gang themselves because there's no accountability.
And I feel like this is a story, that just hasn't been told that much. Like growing up in Atlanta and Metro Atlanta. I'm from Cobb, so it's like
Okay.
out there in Cobb, everybody, of course, is like, "Oh, come on, black boy!" Like we know the cops are like racist in Cobb.
Exactly, exactly.
In Douglas County, the cops out there in Douglas County do not play. The cops in Gwinnett. Like all the bordering areas okay, those cops are racist. But it's always like growing up, Atlanta police, the city cops, they always had this pass of like, oh, they cool, like APD, like they let you slide with this and that. But so it's like to see what's happening and to hear what's actually happening within the APD. I feel like it's a story that needs to be told because a lot of people, even in the Atlanta area, don't know that this is going on with the APD and not just Cobb County, not just Marietta, not just Gwinnett, and et cetera, et cetera.
Right, right. And we need transparency. And I'm glad that you're shining a light on this situation because a lot of this stuff is being swept under the rug. And right now, no one has talked to the family. GBI has not sent any information, and we're still waiting. What are we waiting on? I hate to say it, but if it was someone else, things would have been taking place. And it shouldn't be that. We shouldn't have to get ignorant and act crazy. We were trying to be professional. We're going doing things the right way. But it seemed like doors are getting shut. Doors are not opening. Nobody's answering. The city council, we've been down to the city council numerous of times. My cousin Jimmy has been down there numerous of times. How long we got to keep going down here? Why should we have to continue to fight for our rights when we are being unjust? Can you explain it to me?
I mean, I think it's a rhetorical question.
Right. I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean it like that.
I want to ask about, you keep mentioning his daughters and, his children and stuff like that. So, like, through this, how has the family kind of been coming together and kind of like, I guess, scrapping away to, you'll never be able to replace a father, but
Right.
How have you guys kind of been coming around and trying to figure out ways to help support them and get those kids to where they need to go?
Well, I'm a strong believer of faith, and we got to have faith for number one, because we can't make it without the God above. Number two, I went over his children's house yesterday, and they're, how can I make sure I use the right words? They're grasping, Also, they're I have my father, thank God. I don't wish this on no man or child, so I can't even really go into detail of how they may feel, because I cherish my father. And if a father's not there, it's like you're lost. So I can only wonder and fathom how they may feel, because he was their rock. He was their everything. Not taking anything from their mother. They have a great mother. All right. But they are daddy's little girl. And if you look at videos, pictures, if you see him, you see them. And me and Linton Blackwell, we are the only one that had twin daughters in our family. Okay. So what I recommend that people that are watching this video, if you have a voice, if you can reshare this video, please do. Because Linton Blackwell family, they need your support. If you're in a type of environment, if you have a platform, social media, and you have millions of followers, repost this. We don't want to stop. We don't want this to die down. We want to continue to make noise. We don't want to make a fuss, but we want to make noise to where if Trump listening, Trump, you need to say something. Because this is not right. This is not right.
I want to say shouts out to my big bro, Rashad Richie. I understand he's got the whole little kind of drama thing going on YouTube right now, which he responded to. But regardless, he has a platform of 1 million subscribers, and I sent this to him, and the first thing he did was put it on his platform, 1 million subscribers. So big ups to Rashad Richie. I appreciate you so much, big bro. And then for Fox 5, once again, showing their thing. I mean, one of the biggest voices in the city of Atlanta, to put it on their platform and broadcast it out to the people and stuff like that. Shouts out to them. I seen some people in the Atlanta Voice comments, challenging Atlanta Voice to push it a little more. Atlanta's largest Black-owned newspaper, Atlanta Daily World, my people over there, we're challenging you to continue to push out this message in 2026. Shout out to Capital B for pushing out this message and telling these stories and stuff like that. I just wanted to shine a light on some of the folks who have, and some of the folks who I'm challenging to continue to push out this story with. I want to ask you, so you said both of y'all had twin daughters. I want to ask you kind of about your bond with your cousin Linton Blackwell. Just what was your favorite memory with him, and kind of like how did you guys like really kind of connect and bond, especially having twin daughters?
Say that there. Oh, that was my dad. I'm sorry about that. My cousins usually stay with us. My dad raised Linton Blackwell, since he's been a little boy. I'm gonna give a little history of him. He was born and raised in East Lake Meadows. As I told you before, my daddy, Grady Blackwell, his daddy, his name is Linton Blackwell, Senior. Um, you know, it take a village to raise a family. My daddy stood in and did what he's supposed to do. I love my cousin with all my heart. This is a devastating blow. My cousin was going through some things. He was trying to transition his life. He was trying to transition his life. And as a people, we only turn to the people that pat us on the back when we feel that we're looking for gratification. And he didn't find that amongst his peers. So I was telling him, be still, hold fast, God is coming. And I'm a little emotional right now. I'm trying to hold it back, but he was my best friend. You know, we don't talk every day, but when he called, I answer. When I call, he'll answer. And we'll just talk. You know, as men, we had that open fellowship. And with him not here this year, and I know what he was going through, it really hurt because he was good to a lot of people. He was a great man to a lot of people, to so many people. And it hurts to just, they don't reciprocate the love back. Now he deserved it. And it seemed like us as a culture, it seemed like the media is putting out this false information as we don't have to put down each other to lift each other up. And I appreciate you allowing us to talk on your platform, sir, because no one, not even Banks, he have a platform. He didn't even reach out. For whatever reason, that's between him and whoever. I don't want to speak on him because I don't know him like that. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
And then kind of even just going past that, I want a little more background on East Lake Meadows. You know,
Okay.
it's a community that had an entire PBS documentary about it a few years ago.
Yes.
You know, so you guys were in the, I guess it will make sense time wise for you guys to be in the old East Lake Meadows and stuff.
Yes.
Like that.
Born and raised.
Yeah. So how was it growing up in East Lake Meadows, and what was it like for people who aren't as aware of that community?
Well, myself, I wasn't born in East Lake Meadows. My cousin was. All right, but me watching my cousin, they have a big family. It's a bunch of them. And if those who don't know Little Vietnam, East Lake Meadows, if you grew up there and you alive, it's like being in Vietnam because it was shooting. It was hard over there. They didn't have gangs like that. The only gang in Atlanta was Down by Law. But it was rough. You know what I mean? You had to make ends meet. You know, it was the crack era. And then my cousin mom, she was an addict. His father was an addict. You know, a lot of our parents was addicts at that time and days. So my cousin had to scrap his boots up and get it how he lived, meaning that he had to survive in these type of environments. As they say, product of my environment. He wasn't a product of his environment. What he did was he used his circumstances and he twisted it to make him a better person. So we don't want to just look at East Lake as a bad thing, because sometimes we can go through bad things to bring out the best of us. And that's what East Lake brought out the best of him, you know. So yes, he did survive the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s in East Lake Meadows. Um, did they make him who he is today? I believe it did. Do he? Could I say do he hate it? No, because it run through his blood. All of them.
I always so it's pretty much like you guys saw the entire spectrum of blackness within Atlanta. You know, like Atlanta, a lot of people say they have the richest black people in America, and Atlanta has some of the poorest black people in America. So to see kind of the conditions that some black people in the city are born into, and to come out of that, and then to be among some of the elite in the city and the community and stuff like that. And to make it out as a successful entrepreneur, as a successful businessman, or multi hyphenate, and to have it in like this, kind of going back to racism and systemic oppression and America, I think is like the full American story. It's his life. Um, you know, I guess, you know, just like, what is that like, seeing like the full spectrum of blackness within Atlanta with your cousin and stuff?
Well, to be honest, I'm a I'm gonna go back to what you said. You were saying to the point as far as the culture and the makeup. Um, he your character is what makes you. All right. He went through trying times. He went through prison. You know, prison don't always make you a bad person. Look at Malcolm X. He was Malcolm Little until he became Malcolm X. So we can't use the setbacks to use as pitfall to hinder us for progress. And what my cousin was trying to do and what he was doing, he was progressing in his life.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay. Where we going?
Yeah. I was gone. I guess my internet went out. But you said the last point I was at was it doesn't make you a bad person. Just look at Malcolm X.
Right. And it didn't make him a bad person. It just made him a product of the environment. Because I want to make sure I say it right. We can go through some things. For example, a lot of people in their family don't talk. And me and you could be brothers and we don't talk. And for whatever reason, it could be minute. But the product of our environment made us think I don't like you, or I must hate you, and we don't even talk. And this what's going on. We're not talking in our lives. So I say that to say this right here. Sometimes people go through their environment and it can make them to the point to where they're hard on the outside. But it's not who they is on the inside. And they haven't got the chance to show you the inside because of the environment they live in. They got to be hard. Do that make sense to you?
Man, no. You spitting for real. You spitting. Not. You really getting into the depths of like what it's like to be black, especially like what it's like to be a black man. Oh my goodness, it's like I said, growing up in Marietta Cobb, it's like I feel like it's so much anti-blackness that you realize that a lot of your environment has.
Right.
Because you don't
it's
realize
different from
you
there
grow up.
than here.
It's
if
like
you say you're in Marietta,
yeah.
The air is different out there.
Yeah.
If you come down in East Lake and you go inside the 285, it's like
100%. But it's like this though. It's like so I grew up in a split household. My mom, I spent most of my time with my mom up in Marietta, but my dad was over in Southwest off Cascade. So when I go over to my dad's house, like for summer camps and stuff like that, like the kids will always like, you know what I'm saying, like judge me based on how I dress and talk and stuff like that. But it was like, I don't know, you realize how connected we are just by talking. And there's so many people from the suburbs growing up that were scared to go to the city and talk to the city kids and just realize we all are literally the same. But it's that barrier there because they're scared. It's the fear that was brought to us by the outside. And it's, oh my goodness, it's like I said, you opened a whole can of worms there by saying like that the hard exterior you got to have and you can't really show who you are on the inside. The kid, you meet the funniest, goofiest, nerdiest kids over there in the city and stuff like that. So I mean,
still there?
That's what it is. I'm still here. I'm still here. But I was just saying, you meet the funniest, goofiest, nerdiest, anime watching karate kids from the city. You know what I'm saying? But you'll never know if you never gave them a chance. So,
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Do you need me? You need me to keep speaking until you can hear me? Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Let me see. Leave and come back. Leave and come back or something like that. Leave and come back. Leave and come back. Hold on. I'm gonna type it in the thing.
I can't hear
you. Hold on. I'm gonna keep talking. Okay, he left. I think he'll come back in a second. We're about to wrap up once Darius gets back. But of course, it's always good to speak to the family of Linton Blackwell and kind of get an update on what they're looking for. Once again, the main thing that the family is looking for Linton Blackwell is a citizen review of his arrest. They have over 50 cases now that are waiting for action since 2020. That's the main thing they're looking for as we welcome Darius back in. But yeah, Darius, I'm just wrapping it up now, man.
Okay.
And I'll let you get back to it today. I guess for the average citizen, we talked about obviously the people with the platforms and everything like that, but in terms of the everyday citizen, whether they're in Henry County, Clayton County, any of the surrounding counties, what can they do to help, or what do you advise them to do to help you all out in your pursuit of justice?
Well, what I suggest, we recommend is just be vigilant. Also, say his name, post his name, go on your podcast, repost this podcast. If you see anything, his name is Linton Blackwell. You can go look up on social media and just repost him. That's all you have to do. And if you see anything, if you know anybody that's in power that can help, that'd be good. Send it to them. Tyler Perry, anybody. This should not go up under the rug. My cousin took pictures with the mayor, the governor. So I'm trying to see these people. They don't see what's going on. That's all we want people to do. Keep the fight going. Say his name, Linton Blackwell.
Well, Darius, I appreciate the time so much. Once again, sorry for your loss and Happy New Year. Best of luck to the family as they're pushing for justice. And thank you for just taking a couple minutes out of your day to update us on what the family wants.
Thank you so much. And y'all have a great holiday.
All right. And as always, my name is Rashad Milligan. If you are new to the channel, this is the Road to 10K subs. Make sure you follow along because we're live on this channel each and every single day, just like we've been for the past 303 days. Goodness gracious. All right. Until next time, you all have a good morning, have a good afternoon, have a good evening, have a good night, have a good day. If nobody else told you today, I care for you. Until next time, please take care of your.
Rashad, why you didn't hit me up?
What's up, Rashad? Hey, Rashad.
What's up, Rashad?
Thank you, Rashad.
Brother, I love you, brother.
What's up, Rashad? What it do, boy?
Hey, Rashad.